Good afternoon. My name is Jay Bean. Appreciate the time that we have here today. Talk a little bit about marketing, talk about customer engagement, talk about ways that you can utilize modern tools to enhance the experience between you and your customers. Today is actually St. Patrick's Day, so if you're watching this later, this happened on St. Patrick's Day. I do have my green and logo. So, anyway, we're all set. Um, Sorry, I'll try not to touch my desk so my camera does not move around like that. So anyway, I was actually reading something earlier this morning, and um, it was looking at how many people, maybe they're businesses, maybe they're not, I don't know, but how many people search for um, customer experience. And I think the stat was around 50% increase in search volume just over the last couple of years. And so, as consumers have changed, as the pandemic has made us more aware of how we can engage each other, how we can interact with each other, how we can um, benefit each other, I think that the experience that consumers expect has gone to a higher level. In the past, we've talked about how kind of this at a distance space that we're in today, and it could be at a distance meetings, it could be at a distance learning. Um, there's lots of different factors, but also as consumers, we have lots of choices and we expect more. We expect the same level of engagement, the same level of interaction, the same level of notifications that we get from Facebook or Amazon or DoorDash. Um, and in every small business, the local pizza shop or the Subway shop or the local plumber or oil change, whatever it is, they expect that same level of service. And everything is kind of at our fingertips today. And so a lot of it comes back to the experience, the customer experience. It starts right here. It starts with on the device that we all have in our pockets. And so as businesses, if we're not where the customer is, we're nowhere, right? And so I think this article I was reading this morning and talking about how important customer experience is, and that the search volume has increased that much over even the last couple of years. It is super important as consumers, and it's more important for us as businesses to think about every aspect of that engagement. We've talked about this a lot over the last, I don't know, 6 or 8 months. But the customer engagement levels, the way that consumers are engaging with our brands, with our companies, has completely changed. And consumers don't want to chase you. Consumers don't want to go find you. They want you to find them. And they expect you to do things that are different, just because, I mean, they have lots of choices, right? So it's not the loyalty that they may have had in the past, where they're coming in and saying, well, I used this plumber before, so I'm going to use him again, or I got my oil changed at this XYZ lube shop last time, so I'm going to go there again. Um, it has to be more convenient than that, and and businesses actually have to kind of step up and look at all of their marketing and look at the trends that are going on and look at ways that you can put yourself in the hands of the consumer. The other thing that I was reading the other day, which I thought was really, really interesting, stats around our mobile phones. And so if we just look at if anyone's phone, um, it's not like there is an unlimited number of tabs. I mean, obviously we can go from tab to tab to tab, right? Um, and we can put as many apps as we want on here, and we can figure out ways to categorize those or whatever the case might be. But um, but the average consumer has 50 apps on their phone. The average consumer also uses an average of 9 apps every single day. So, um, and if we were to guess how many apps have been created, there's more than 2 million. So, if you're a business or if you're creating something today and you're one of the sea of 2 million apps, good luck in getting millions and millions of people to use it. The likelihood of you being one of the 9 apps that a consumer uses on a daily basis um, is not zero, but it's pretty close to it, right? Um, but there are apps on that phone that you can utilize to build better customer relationship with your customers, to build a better engagement path, to create better notifications, to create more nurturing. Um, and yeah, you can do some of those things through email, but you can also utilize text, right? So text is one of those 9 apps that gets used by almost every consumer every single day. And so, yeah, and there's popular apps that we utilize. Maybe it's a Facebook app, or we use even something that wouldn't have that much usage, which would be like a DoorDash or one of those apps. Even though they may have 20 or 30 or 40 million users, um, it's not 100%. It's 5% or 10% or 15% of consumers are going to have some of those apps. Um, Anyone that has a mobile phone has texting. So you can reach 100% of the audience um, if you have the authorization and you have the permission. You can give your customers and your potential customers and local consumers the same type of experience that they're going to get from having an app on their phone. You can send them the same type of notifications. You can send them the same type of offers, and you can remind them they've not been back in a while, and you can send them notifications, and you can send them appointment reminders, and you can send them um, specials, or you can engage them to interact with your social channels. I mean, there's all the things that we can actually accomplish with an app can be also accomplished in a very automated way with text. And so when we think about a couple of key factors here, that consumer experience and customer experience is on the rise. We have at a distance, so we're not as close to our customers as we used to be, or consumers have moved, so we don't have the same ability that we may have had a few years ago. And at the same time, um, we have an awesome app that's in the pocket of almost 100% of consumers, and we have multiple apps that they utilize on a daily basis. We don't have to go reinvent the wheel. Let's just use the wheel better. Um, let's utilize the tools and the resources better. And and yes, that puts some onus on your business in getting the permissions and the authorizations and activating your customers so you can send them special offers. Um, but today, consumers want that and they expect it. And um, so for you as a business, you don't have to think about how do I get in the person's phone. You can already be there. They're already on the phone. You just have to kind of take that next step. And so as we think about different channels in 2022, um, the most critical channel, and there's some other legislation, some other things that are kind of going on with the major carriers. One of those being 10, 10, 10 DLC, which is kind of the long digit form to send text to customers, as long as your local number, your mainline number, whatever the case might be, where you can go through and get authorized as a credible um, sender of text messages, so your consumers have high deliverability. There's some other things like that that are going to help your business. Um, but the place that you can start today is the customers that are in front of you today. And we don't want to add additional workload or other things onto your current teams where they're going out and trying to get customers to say, yeah, you can send me special offers. We can automate all of that for you. and there's platforms like Fresh Slime out there that can automate all of those easy functions. And so all you have to do is raise your hand and start, because your consumers are already there. You're already in business. You already have a location. You already have trucks running around the neighborhood. Whatever the case might be within your business, you already have resources out there that can be utilized today without adding more manpower, without hiring more people, without adding additional functionality. There's things that you can do today to strengthen that relationship with a customer, and in doing so, giving you an avenue and a platform that you can continue to market and derive revenue within your business for weeks and months and years to come. We have a customer who, in a single month, connected with 1,750 customers in a face-to-face scenario, and over 1,100 of those raised their hand. So you can do the math on 1,750 divided by 1,100, right? So a high percentage, like 60-something% of those consumers are willing to get notifications and offers from these merchants. And so this activation rate and getting consumers to raise their hand, they want you to communicate with them. You just have to ask if you can do that. And it doesn't take your employees doing that. And so it can all be automated through modern technology in order to do that in a very seamless way. And it gives you the power as a business to better compete against the apps and the Amazons and the Facebooks and the marketplaces and others that are trying to charge you to bring you a single customer. The last thing you want to do as a business is renting your customer. You want to own that customer relationship. And so the marketplaces are really, really awesome to introduce you to a new customer, but then you need to take that customer relationship and own it and have that direct communication. Don't put XYZ app in between you and your customers. Use marketing as a marketing function to get a relationship with a customer and then own that customer directly. And you can utilize modern technology in order to do that. And so I would encourage you as you go throughout the next week or two, look at the touch points within your customers where you could give them a little, I don't know, I don't even have a card here. I mean, you give them some type of a card like AT&T with a QR code or something like that on it that the consumer could scan that to start building that direct relationship, or something you leave them that they can leave you feedback and utilize that process to get them to give you permission to send them offers from time to time. There's lots of different ways, things that you're already doing where we can add some technology in between. So if you're a restaurant, rather than just giving a menu, insert an opt-in in there and give them a free drink today, or give them a free appetizer today, or give their feedback after a meal and give them a $5 coupon to come back in your restaurant at a later time. There's lots and lots of different avenues, and our team here at Fresh Slime can kind of walk you through some of the successes that we're seeing in every type of vertical. So it doesn't matter. We personally don't work in e-commerce, but where there's a direct customer relationship, where you have a local relationship with a customer, so they're coming and getting their oil changed, they're bringing a truck over to your house, they're coming mowing your lawn, they're selling you a local service, you're going to the restaurant or the retail store. Every type of business can actually implement technology today that is very cost effective, that drives results from day one. You don't have to wait for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months down the road for your SEO to kick in. You don't have to spend lots and lots of dollars on ads hoping that you're going to get a return. There's pieces that we can actually employ within your business today that would allow you to start getting customers permission to send them text messages today in a very simplified way, right? So think about that experience, and think about when you're out shopping this weekend, or when you're out getting services this weekend, even on your own, think about what should that business do to engage me better? And then think about your business and what can I do and how does that apply to me that I can engage my customers better because your customers expect it. Thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live today. Really appreciate your time and coming in and sharing a few minutes with us on every Thursday afternoon. And so until next time, we'll talk to you then. Cheers.